Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, there I am. Cool. I'm hoping it all works. I've heard Zoom has had some issues over the last couple of days with things. Okay, so get everybody in and then we can. Okay, can everybody hear me? You can unmute yourselves for the moment if you like until we get started, just to make sure you get your videos happening. Anyone who's going to be cooking would be awesome. There we go. We've got Erin. I can see Erin. I can see Heather. I can see Heather. Cool. So I've got two Heathers on, so that'll make life confusing. I've got Tiki there.
Call me Georgie.
I'll call you Georgie. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got Heather and Georgie. But I can change. I can rename you on. No, actually, I can't reach my keyboard, so I can't do that. my arms aren't long enough. So, how are we going? We're expecting there should be about 20 people. So here we go. Katrina's on. Emily's still struggling. It's just showing connecting. Okay, Joe's on. So who's actually going to be cooking today?
Me, Heather, Georgie.
Okay, so Georgie, and now Erin, are you doing some cooking? You normally do some cooking, don't you? Not today?
No, I'm just going to watch and learn.
Okay, fair enough. I have actually got my little list of who said they were doing what. That's one reason why I do the registration. So now Isabella can't come on. She's got a gas leak in her kitchen, so probably not a good idea to be doing this. Now I've got sort of some sound cutting it out. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep. Yes.
Sometimes you cut in and out.
Okay, yeah, because I'm hearing you guys cut in and out as well. So I don't know if Zoom's going to play nicely with us today. it's been really good the last few days, but maybe everyone's doing Sunday afternoons. So there we go. What do we got? We've got a few of you on. Cool. Just about there.
Hi, Louise. Sue, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Sue?
Good, good.
That's good. Are you cooking? Oh no, you're not cooking. You're listening, aren't you?
No, no, no. You should see my kitchen. It is a disaster.
Really?
Yes. So I've prepared everything, but I'm making a few extras. I've made margaritas. I'm making nachos. I'm sort of doing a bit of everything.
Okay, well, we need your camera. We need to be able to see what you're doing here.
No, maybe later when I clean up a bit.
Okay. Everyone can just look at the mess in my kitchen for the moment.
Yours is tidy.
Sorry?
Yours is tidy compared to
Oh,
mine.
no, it's looking terrible. And you can't actually see the bits that are off camera. So that's where I just sort of dump things in corners where I know the camera won't reach.
Oh, very good. Well, thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I think we are now 3:01. Oh, another one is just, here we go. Nicole's jumping on. Here she is. Cool. Good. Now, those of you who are actually cooking, did you do any of the pre-steps, things like grating cheese and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. The only reason I suggest that, doing those sorts of things for these especially, is it just means it saves another washing of the jug. So, yeah. I mean, I think most of us can figure out how to grate some cheese. I just do speed 8 for about 5 seconds. Perfect. So, cool. Now, did everybody get my little handout?
Yes.
Yes? Good.
Yes, I did. It was fantastic.
Awesome. There's plenty of space for making notes on it and everything. So
Yeah.
not leaving you to your own devices. So there we go.
It was amazing. What you do for us is just incredible.
Cool. I'm glad you
Oh,
glad
yeah.
you like it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and the work you put into it is just,
Ah,
you deserve a medal.
thank you.
agree.
No, the fact that you're all here watching is reward enough. Does that sound really corny?
Sounds good.
That's good. I was going to say, I've got a cameraman behind the scenes here. Graham, I could probably actually put the laptop below the camera there. Then I'm actually looking in the direction of the camera when I'm looking at people. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yes. Because I've got you all up on my laptop, but I've actually got a separate camera, and you were sort of was on a slightly different angle. But now we've got the camera above the laptop, so all is good. Awesome. Okay, so welcome to our little Mexican cook-along. I thought this could be a fun thing to try because I love Mexican food. So it seemed like a good choice. People seemed happy with that. Now, so what we're doing is, and you will have seen from your run sheet, we're going to be making taco seasoning, anyone who wants to. It's not actually in any of the recipes, but I am going to be adding it to some of mine because some of them I think need a little bit of a kick. If you're doing really family friendly, you might want to leave it out anyway. But when we had the fajitas, I was sort of like, oh, I think it needs a little bit more chili. So I thought, hey, taco seasoning, something for the pantry. We'll do that. We'll start with that one. Then the tortillas, that's so easy to make. Oh, that reminds me, I didn't get out my roti maker. I was going to make mine using my LD roti maker just because it saves me clearing off my stove top to fry them. Okay. Has anyone made their tortillas yet, or are you going to be doing it while we're cooking?
I'm doing it with you.
Yep. Awesome. Good. They're really.
I've got bought one, sorry.
What was that? Who's got bought ones?
Blue.
Okay, cool. Look, I actually have some bought ones as well. So it was just in case, if I get caught talking and don't get a chance to fry mine up, I've at least got something to use. So that's all right. But I know Heather will be frying, Georgie will be frying hers up. So that's cool. Okay, we've just, oh, look, we're just about there. We're good. Okay, so we're going to do the tortillas, and I'm doing these things in a certain order so that we can minimize jug washing for those of you who don't have second jugs. We've got an equal mix of TM6 and TM5 people on here. And also there are some things like doing the taco seasoning earlier means I can actually season some things earlier to get the flavor to develop. So I'll explain that as I go. Sour cream. Is anyone using bought sour cream? Or
Yep.
who's saying yep? Now, is anyone want to make the sour cream?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, cool.
If not, it doesn't matter.
What was that, sorry?
If you don't do it, it doesn't matter because I've got the recipe anyway. So
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see how we're going with that because I did actually buy some sour cream as well, just in case. But I just thought it's an interesting thing to know how to do because it is a mock sour cream. It's not real sour cream. The sour cream is actually a fermented milk product, which takes like 24 hours to make. But in a pinch, if you're doing something like these enchiladas and you need some sour cream, then the whipped cream with the lemon juice added in for the flavour is a great substitute. So that's why I thought we'd pop that one in. What else? Oh, guacamole, because you just have to make guacamole. That's there. Sour cream and chicken enchiladas are delicious. So I'm making those. And the beef fajitas. I said that is a TM6 recipe, but as you will have seen in your things, I have put instructions for TM5 and TM31 as well. So let's get started. Who's making the taco seasoning with me? Hey, super easy to make. So I have put all my recipes in my weekly planner for today, apart from sour cream because that's a manual one. So the taco seasoning is on Cookie Doo. And don't worry if you can't read my screen because I'm going to be talking so you can listen to me and start cooking. Now, I have actually put all my bits and pieces together in the one container, ready to go, rather than having 15 spices all lined up. Okay, now I'm going to, so with the chili powder, it says 20 to 40 grams, and it does depend what sort of chili powder you're using, because some chili powder is really, really hot. I'm actually using Kashmiri chili powder because that's just the one I seem to have in my house, which isn't quite as hot. And some people use chili powder that you get, like the little McCormick's jars in the supermarket, which is actually a blend of spices. So, you can, if you're using pure red hot chili pepper, then 20 grams is probably going to be plenty for this. So we'll weigh that in, and then now one thing I did do, because all of these are measured in, a lot of these are measured in tablespoons, but I did actually, when I was putting mine into my container, I actually weighed them as I was going, so that for future reference, if you want to just weigh them, I'll tell you what it is. So you've got your chili powder, which is in grams. garlic powder, 1 1/4 tablespoons of garlic powder is 10 grams. 1 1/4 tablespoons of onion powder is 10 grams. 1 1/4 tablespoons of dried oregano is 5 grams. 2 tablespoons of paprika. I'm just using sweet paprika because I figure there's enough hotness in there, so I'm not using hot paprika or smoked or anything, just normal paprika. 20 grams. 2 tablespoons of cumin seeds, that's another 20 grams. A tablespoon of sea salt, whatever salt you've got, is 20 grams. And I'm actually not putting in the optional chili flakes or black peppercorns. I figure it's hot enough as it is. Okay, does anyone need any of those weights again? Because if you want to write those down, but I've got all of mine in here all ready to go. Look at that, just to make life easy. Okay, so I can either go next through all the ingredients, or I can actually bring up my recipe. Okay. Bring up my recipe, doing my 3 dots. I'm on a funny angle here. And oh, sorry, that's me being a spazzy on a. I need to actually scroll it down. Place all in. I was hoping it would have a different step there to actually blend it through, but we'll have to do the next. So there we go. Insert lid. Now, I was going to show you a little trick here, which isn't an authorized Thermomix trick. If you're milling something like this and you don't want to get all your spices going out the lid and covering the lid and everything, don't tell them I told you. If you put a bit of Glad wrap over your jug before you put your lid on, it will actually keep everything in the jug. So, but that's unofficial, but when I'm not in public showing you, I do that. So, do that. Now we're going to do 1 minute on speed 10. So it's going to be noisy, but I will move away from it when it's doing that, and you'll still be able to hear me talking. All right, so let's go around to speed 10. Can you still hear me at all?
Yes.
You can? Cool, that's cool, because I can't hear myself. I might have to go into my pantry. There we go. Okay, so is anyone else making the taco seasoning? Sorry?
I made it before.
Oh, that's very organised. Yeah, look, I must admit, it's the sort of thing that I would normally do well ahead of time and then just have it ready to go for when I'm cooking. Same with a lot of these things. I think anything that you can prep ahead of time to make pulling dinner together super quick and easy is well worth doing. So, yeah. But the taco seasoning, I haven't even organised myself a container to put it in my pantry properly. I'm just going to pop it back in. Oh, there we go. I'm going to pop it back in that plastic container. Here we go. Now, here's where a pastry brush is really useful. So I'm going to give it a bit of a bang. And this is why I've got this set up like this today, so I can actually do things in front of you. Okay, because we're going to have spices everywhere, just because they're really nice and fine. Okay, so inside the lid, look at that. See how it's all red? I just use a nice dry pastry brush and get it all off. Don't want to waste it. And if you get it clean enough, you don't need to wash between, when you go in to do your next dish. I'll probably jump straight into my tortillas without cleaning this taco mix all the way out. It won't matter if there's a little bit left in there. And then see in the jug, it's all up the sides and everything. Again, I'm just going to use a brush to push it down. You can use a spatula. I just find a pastry brush works nicely. Smells lovely. Okay, so I have my little container that I had all my spices in, and I'm just going to empty that back into there. It makes a good amount. So this is sort of thing, you know, you can give people this jarred up for, you know, Christmas gifts and all sorts of stuff. It seems silly to be, you know, spending all that money on buying spice mixes when you can be making them yourself. Okay, so there we go. And I might just use my little brush to get in right against where the blade is. And the brush is nice and soft, so it's not going to hurt my blades at all. But it's great for getting powdery stuff like spice mixer. So I need a light that shines straight into my jug, but we'll be fine. So that's pretty clean now. See, that's pretty clean. I wouldn't bother at this point washing unless I was going to be doing something like whipping cream or making a dessert. I wouldn't worry about getting the rest of that spice out there. If you don't want the spice in your food, then yes, by all means, clean that out. All right, that's our taco seasoning done. Now, one of the things that I'm going to use the taco seasoning for, I might just do that now, is with the enchiladas, you put a tin of tomatoes, chopped tomatoes on top, and I just find that a bit boring and bland. So I like to put a little bit of seasoning in with the tomatoes, and so I just have a nice little tin of tomatoes here and a teaspoon. I'm actually going to mix my taco seasoning into my tomatoes now so it has a chance to develop its flavour, and then I can work it if I need to add more later. Okay, so I'm not going to put a lot in, half a teaspoon. And if I need to add more later, I can, but if I add too much now, you can't take it out again. Okay, so I'm just going to mix that in, maybe with a bit of salt as well. So it will add a little bit of flavour to the enchiladas on top. Another thing I do sometimes, if I think about it, is I'll just use a jar of, you know, salsa or something like that on top of the enchiladas, just because I like to have a little bit more flavour in it. So that's my tomatoes. They're going to sit aside for the moment until ready to go. And our taco seasoning, pop aside until we need it again. Okay, awesome. Let's do some tortillas. Now, does anyone need to want to clean their jug before they start their tortillas, or you're all ready to go? Anyone making them?
Yes.
Yep, good. Okay, you ready to go with them?
Yes.
Yep, awesome. Okay, I'm having the pages open as well that I've given you, so that I know we're working from the same page, so to speak. All right, I'm going to quit out of that one and jump into my taco recipe, which is sour cream enchilada. Right, fajitas, tacos. Why have I? Oh, there they are, down the bottom. All right, these are so super easy to make. It's a beautiful, beautiful dough to work with. So you're going to love it. Once we've made it, we're going to put it aside to rest for just a little while we do some other things. So if you've got a thermomat, silicone mat to wrap it in, that's good, or even just a bit of Glad wrap will work. Okay, so let me grab some ingredients. We've got 500 grams of flour. I use baker's flour. It says baker's flour, but plain flour will work fine in these because it will. All right, so we're going to pop flour in. Ah, near enough. Stylus. A teaspoon of salt.
I already added my salt and everything into the flour last night.
Oh, yeah, I see. I would normally do that, but I thought, no, I'll be good this time.
Well, I thought I'd be behind, so I better get ahead.
No, that's absolutely fine. Baking powder. Now, this is actually the baking powder we made the other night at the Pantry Staples session. So I have been using it for all sorts of things. It works really, really well. Teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to put my lids back on so I don't end up dropping something somewhere. And we're going to put our lid on. And we're going to mix speed 3 for 10 seconds. And that's just mixing the dry ingredients together. Okay. Okay. Lovely. Now, it says light olive oil. I just use olive oil for this. Light just means it's got a softer flavour. I don't really care. So, despite what some people think, light olive oil does not mean it's got less fat. It's the flavour. Okay, so that's
82 grams, is that too all right?
No, that'll be absolutely fine. The doughs are very forgiving when it comes to oil, so yeah. And this is a beautiful soft dough. You're going to love working with it. And 250 grams of warm water. So there we go. Let me tear that off. Who's that? Someone's just arrived. Oh, 252. That'll teach me to look up while I'm doing this. And I keep losing my stylus. There we go. Shouldn't have a black one on a black bench because it's totally invisible. All right. Lid on. And we're going to knead it for 2 minutes. Simple as that. Now, I'm going to be using my Thermomix. I'm just going to show you, for those of you who have a Thermomix, when you wash it, a really good thing to do is to put a tea towel on top of it and roll it up, okay? And that will absorb any water that's on it and dry it. I actually keep mine stored like that, rolled up with a tea towel.
A brilliant idea. I'm always trying to work out how to dry it.
Yeah, no, doing the tea towel trick just works awesomely. I was going to show you, that's actually the one I use for my demos. This is the one I've got there. This is my kitchen one, and you can see I do actually have it wrapped up in a tea towel with a band around it. So always ready to go, and it's always dry. So there we go. Tea towel aside because I will use that to wrap my mat up again when I'm finished. Done, got about 30 seconds to go. you'll see mine jiggling around a bit. I've actually got it sitting on a board over the sink just to give me more room. I wouldn't recommend that for everyday use, but I needed to have some bench space to be able to do, so you can actually see things that I was doing. So, there we go, beautiful. Oops, just lost my earpiece. Go back in. Cool. Lovely. All right. So we have a beautiful, beautiful soft dough now. It's really beautiful to work with. Really soft. Now, you probably all know this, those of you who don't. See how I've got some dough still stuck on my blades? What I just do is pop it back on the machine. And I'm going to pop it on turbo.
How do you go back to it while you've still got it on the recipe?
You'll have a little green bookmark up the top. So if you press the home button and exit out to do something like this, then when we press the green, it takes us back in. See?
Ah, okay, yes.
Yeah. So I'm actually just going to do a quick turbo, just a 1 second turbo. Here we go. Jump back into the recipe, and all my dough will be off the blades.
Is it chopped up? Mine's all chopped up fine.
It's fine. Grab a lump of your existing dough and just pick up those bits off the bottom. See how you can get it all now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I just wipe inside the jug as well. So you get everything out.
Oh, I've still got bits there.
Have you? But yeah, you use sort of that like a bit of blue tack and you'll end up with a pretty clean jug.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good, isn't it? Okay, so what I'm just going to do is shape my beautiful soft, I don't know if you can see how soft and pliable this is. It's absolutely beautiful to work with. It makes it so easy when you want to roll out your tortillas. So I just roll it into a nice ball, and then I'm wrapping it in my dough, in my Thermomat. But if you're using Glad wrap, then just wrap it in Glad wrap, and we're just going to pop it aside at room temperature. So I'm just going to pop it over there for the moment. All right. Now, is anyone making the sour cream?
Yes, if you're going to do it, I will.
Okay. All right. Now, because now you can decide if you probably want to, if you've only got one jug, you'll want to clean your jug.
Yep. Now.
If you've got a second jug, then you just whip your second jug on. Okay. So I'm actually just going to fill this one with water for the moment, pop it out of the way, and pop a clean one on while I get my cream and stuff out of the fridge. I left all the perishables in the fridge. So anyone who wants to be doing the sour cream now, a clean jug is probably your best bet. What have I got? Cream. There we go. My beef, my chicken, my cream. There we go. Now, it says pure cream. I'm not fussed on using pure cream for this. We're just whipping it, so I'm happy to use thickened cream. And okay. Lemon juice, get rid of my baking powder so I don't confuse myself. How are we going, Heather?
Yeah, good. I've got it all here.
You're all good to go? Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not on the machine. Does it have to be on the machine?
Sorry, what was that?
It's not on the machine.
Your
So
clean
how do
jug?
I get it? Yeah. The recipe.
No, we're doing a manual recipe now.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Now, because this recipe is I've got a cat wanting to get in the house. It's climbing up the fly wire, but here we go. It's going to get let in. Good. Yeah. If you just Google how to make sour cream, you come up with all these recipes. So it's a very, very standard thing. We're just using our Thermomix to do it. It's not a specific, you don't need to have a Thermomix to do it. It's just a lot quicker being able to do it like this. So we're going to put in 300 grams, or if you've got a 300 ml bottle of cream, put that in. You don't have to be precise with this one. Okay, so let's pop in some cream. And if you want to do a bit more because you want to have some with your fajitas as well, then you can put some more in. But I'll just do the 300. And we want about a tablespoon of lemon juice or white vinegar. So I am going to squeeze my lemon. It's about 20 grams, to be quite honest, a tablespoon. So why dirty a tablespoon as well when I can just put that in? Oh, I forgot to put my butterfly in. You should have reminded me, Heather.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right. It's on the recipe. I was so busy opening my cream and talking. There we go. Just pop your butterfly in. Nice and straightforward. Back to zero. So what about 20 grams of lemon juice? Beautiful. And just a pinch of salt.
Salt.
Okay. Simple as that. Now, we're going to pop on our lid, but we don't need our MC. So we can take that out because we want to keep an eye on it to see when it gets as thick as we want it to be. All right, because everyone likes their sour cream, different thicknesses. So we're going to just jump back to here and we're going to turn our dial to speed 3. So, okay.
Back to the house.
Sorry?
Back to the house.
Back to the house. Yep. And now speed 3. So you get your butterfly in, you've got your cream, your salt and your lemon juice. We're doing speed 3 so we can actually keep control of our thickness. And it is one of these whip until done type of things, okay? It depends on what sort of cream you've used, what temperature it is, how old it is, all those sorts of things will determine how long it takes to whip your cream. So that's why we're leaving our MC off, so we can keep an eye on it.
Should it look thick like whipped cream?
Once it's whipped, yes. But you haven't whipped it yet, have you?
Oh, yeah.
How long have you been going for?
As long as you, 44 seconds.
Yeah, well, it depends on your cream. I'll show you what mine looks like at this point. It's almost a minute. Okay, that's what mine's looking like. I could leave it at that. I could go a bit longer if I want it. It depends how thick you like your sour cream to be. I would also, at this point, taste it, just to make sure you can taste the lemon. So how thick do you want your sour cream?
I don't care.
You don't care? Did yours look about that thick?
About that thick, yeah, but yeah, maybe a tad thinner, but about that.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to go just a little bit longer on mine. Just a little bit.
So what speed?
3.
3.
Speed 3. Remember, when you've got your butterfly in, you never go to speed 4.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're just doing 3 so we can control it a bit. Because with sour cream, I don't know if you've ever bought a tub of sour cream, and sometimes it's like really firm, like, you know, cream cheese or something. So, and other times you can actually pour it. So it just depends what you want to do with it. All right. So this is about, I've got 1 minute and 19 on my
1
timer.
minute and 9.
Okay. All right. So now I have quite.
Starting to curdle.
It's just going into very whipped cream, but it's all right because it's all going to be mixed into your chicken mix, so it's fine.
I'm not doing chicken mix.
You're not doing the enchiladas. What are you doing?
No, tortillas.
The fajitas? Okay,
Yeah,
that's all right.
fajitas,
Yeah, you're
yeah.
going to be spooning yours on as a condiment, so
Yes.
you do want it to be a little bit firm, so that's all right. So just scrape out your jug and pop your sour cream aside. So, yeah, so if you're wanting it depends on your recipe, but yeah, if you're wanting to blob it onto tacos and things, then yeah, you want it to be pretty firm, like that. All right, now I'm actually going to leave a little bit in my jug. Now, is anyone making the guacamole? Or am I the only one doing guacamole?
I couldn't get ripe avocados.
No, look, I could only get 2, so I'm sort of modifying a little bit.
I made it earlier and he's to die for.
It is it? Oh, good. Yeah. Look, I'm actually going to make it now, but I'm going to leave a little bit of my sour cream in here because I actually like a little bit of sour cream in my guacamole. So I'm not going to bother washing my jug out. So while I'm doing that, either you can rinse your jug out or you can just sit and watch. So, but anyway, there we go. Our sour cream. Let's pop that to the side. And I'm just going to clean my spatula up a little bit so I don't get cream everywhere. Awesome. Okay, guac. Guac. All right, I'm going to go back to my weekly planner and find my guacamole, which is down here, and start cooking. I want to do a new recipe. There we go. So we're going to be putting in, and remember at any time, those of you in 6 or actually 5 as well, you can do it, can look at the full recipe. If you want to read ahead just to understand what you're doing, then you can bring up your full recipe and have a look. Okay. So 8 sprigs of coriander. I never know with these what a sprig is because when it says roots and all, you actually sort of get 3 or 4 sticks on a. All right, so I'm just going to pop in.
Could you use powdered or ground coriander or?
No, because that is actually coriander seed, which is very different to coriander plant. Okay. If you don't like coriander at all, leave it out. I think I put that in the notes that some people don't like coriander, in which case just don't worry about putting it in. I'm going to pop in some bit of red onion. It's not a lot, 20 grams. There we go. And I'm going to pop my lid on. Who's that cooking in the background?
I did the pre-clean.
Oh, very good. All right. Okay, so we're just going to do 3 seconds on speed 7 to chop our coriander and red onion. And we're going to scrape down the sides. And remember, I had my sour cream in there as well, which probably didn't help it. I might just repeat that step just to make sure it gets chopped. If you don't have sour cream in there, it's going to chop nice and clean. It's just me. I just like to modify things sometimes. Beautiful. Now, tomato. I'm not using a whole tomato. I'm using cherry tomatoes because we needed cherry tomatoes for the fajita recipe. And I'm not going to bother about taking seeds out because life's too short for that. So that was about 5 cherry tomatoes, halved. And I'm going to go speed 7, 5 seconds. Lovely. Scrape down sides. Just show you what mine's looking like because I've had the sour cream in there as well. I don't know if you can see. It's all pink and mushy. There we go. Okay, 20 grams of lemon juice or 20 grams of lime juice. We'll do 20 grams of lemon juice, and that's pretty much half a lemon. Go. Lemon juice in. Now, 3 ripe avocados. I actually didn't peel my avocados in advance because I didn't want to go brown, but I just wanted to show you. For those of you who don't know, when you're looking for an avocado, you want it to be ripe, just hold it in your hand and gently squeeze the stalk end. So that's the short end of the avocado, that in. And if it's got some give, then you're good to go. If it's rock hard, like this one is, oh, actually it's starting to ease up a little bit, then it's going to be too firm. Okay. And okay, what I'm going to do is cut it lengthways, twist it and split, and you've got a stone in one side. I mean, it's probably very basic. Some people have never actually played with an avocado. And then with a spoon, I'm just scooping out the inside, like so. The side that's got the stone, easiest way to get your stone out, nice sharp knife, give it a tap and twist it. Okay, and that will get the stone off. And then be very careful, just taking the stone off the knife. And get one in as well. Lovely. This one's fine as well. I will try that one that's a bit further just to see if I can get anything out of it. I mean, they're pretty good size. Okay, actually, I might just stick with the 2. They're pretty good size. Okay. All good. So we've got our avocados in. And the reason I didn't do them in advance is because avocados go brown really easily once they're exposed to air. So we'll do that. Pinch of salt. Pinch of ground black pepper. Okay. And lid on. And 3 seconds on speed 5. Have a look at it, because it depends how smooth or chunky you like your guacamole, but that's pretty much mushed up. So I'm going to pop that in a little bowl. I actually made some homemade corn chips the other day as well to have with it, so I'll show you those. Okay, so there we go. Don't you see that? We have guacamole made. I'll get everything out, show you later. And what's left, I'm just going to pop into this bowl here. Okay. Now, is anyone making the enchiladas with me? Or are we just going to be doing the, because we can be making the tortillas while we're cooking the chicken. Okay.
Yeah, I'm making the enchiladas, thanks, boys.
Oh, beautiful. Good, good, good. All right, let me pop that guac out of the way. And see, because I've got my Thermomix sitting on top of the sink. I've only got a little tiny sink here for cleaning, which makes life very interesting. All right, but I'm just going to get my jug back. And we'll get this chicken on for this. All right, so recipe. We'll go back to my weekly list and look for the sour cream enchiladas. Okay. Just make sure the bottom of my jug is dry because I had it sitting in the sink.
How many people would this enchilada serve, please, Louise?
Oh, you can, I think it officially says 6. So, yeah, but it's very easy to make it bigger, okay? Yeah, I mean, we've only got 3 in our house, so I never bother, but because you're doing things like steaming chicken separately, you're making the tortillas or buying the tortillas, you could very easily be turning it into a big one or 2 dishes of it, okay? All right, let's start. I don't need an avocado, that can go. Start cooking. I'm going to start a new recipe. All right, we're going to pop 700 grams of water in our jug. And so we don't have to worry if our jug was too clean or not, because we're actually only steaming with it. So how much water I had in my jug? Let's see. Oh, pretty close. Go a bit more. Okay. And 700 water. Gonna pop our lid on and our aroma. Okay. It says put them into your Varoma dish and tray into position and put your chicken in. Now I'm going blind, there we go. Chopped up my chicken ahead of time. It is, you sort of look at 2 or 3 breast fillets, and I've just done them in little bits like that, okay? Because it said to do them 5 by 1 centimetre, so 2 inch by 1 centimetre, because it wants to cook them fairly clean, and it's all going to get shredded at the end anyway, okay? So we're going to pop We can do both layers if we want. But if you're popping in the bottom, make sure you leave a hole for the steam to go through, okay? Up the top, it's not an issue because you've got side vents, but down the bottom, if steam can't get through, then nothing's going to cook on either level, okay? So see how I've just got a gap in the center? That's what you want. Let's just load that up, like that. So again, this is the sort of thing you can do well ahead of time and then just assemble your enchiladas when you want to. I just thought it'd be a good opportunity because we've got to make the tortillas anyway. We can do it while the chicken's cooking. All right, so we're going to do 8 minutes, speed 1. All right, I'm going to get my tortilla dough. Now, if anyone's going to be frying their tortillas, you make sure you've got a cooktop ready to go. And I'm going to get out my little Aldi roti maker, which is really handy for this sort of thing. Preheat that. Okay, so we have our lovely tortilla dough. They say it will make 16 25-centimeter tortillas, but what you want to do is measure your container. There's no point in making 25-centimeter tortillas if your container, like mine, is only 20 centimeters. Okay, so in which case you could probably make about 20 of them. The main thing we want to do at the moment is to get 10 of them ready for our enchiladas. Okay, so see your beautiful dough. If I chop that in half like this, you see it's beautiful to work with. I could probably, I'll go in. And I'm just going to keep going until I get to probably about golf ball size dough. I mean, if you want to, you can do the, break off and twist like that, if that's easier. But they are very, very quick to cook. So once your pan is hot, and the trick is you don't want to overcook them. If you overcook, you're going to end up with table water crackers. That's what they are like when they're really solid. Okay, so I'm just making them into little golf balls. Isn't it beautiful dough to work with, Heather?
Yes. Very nice.
It is lovely, isn't it? It's so easy to roll. I actually, because I'm using a roti maker, I don't even need to roll them because it presses it out. It's like using a tortilla press. So it will actually flatten it. But yeah, if you're using a rolling pin, I suppose I should find one and show you. It is simply a matter of just flatten it, roll, roll, just until it's nice and thin. And you'll find it will stretch out quite a long way because it is such a pliable dough, okay? And then when your pan's hot, you're going to pop it in your pan until you don't want it to actually go look as though it's cooked all the way through. But yeah, it will stretch out quite nicely. Show you what it, see if I can, why is my, oh, sorry, I got my cord caught underneath, so it's uneven. So I'm using an electric press here. So when I do that, it actually cooks it like that. So it's really cool doing
Mine's
it,
not getting any bigger.
isn't it?
No.
Andrew, you want it to get quite thin.
Okay.
And there we go. That's how quick it is to cook. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the temp down a bit now that we're preheated. You hear that sound? That's the air coming out. How's it going, Heather? Are they rolling out?
I'm only on the first one still, and it looks like the map of Australia. Look at, can you see?
You just keep rotating around. And look, and remember, it's going to be, oh, you're doing fajitas, aren't you? I was going to say, for the enchiladas, you don't even see them because they're in the sauce. But I guarantee your family will be so excited that you've actually made tortillas from scratch. They won't care what shape they are.
How hot should I have the pan?
Or medium to hot, because you want it to be sort of start cooking as soon as it goes in.
This is ridiculous. Can you see that, Louise?
I can't see you at all. Hang
Oh,
on.
that's good. No. Do I put oil in the pan?
No, just dry. Just got to get that over. Because you're doing the fajitas, you've got plenty of time to be doing your
Yeah, I'm not worried. I can
tortillas.
do it later.
I just need to have mine ready to do my enchiladas. So, is anyone else making tortillas while we're doing this? I know, so you did yours in advance. So. I love my Aldi roti maker. It's so good for doing tortillas.
Is the roti maker a recent purchase or is that?
A few months ago, I've seen them pop up again from time to time if they have excess stock. So in the last week or so, I saw them.
Okay, I might check mine.
Yeah, so keep an eye out because it's actually really good for doing, things like this. If you don't want to, get your pan out. I mean, in the past I've always done pan, but it just is not practical for doing a demonstration.
I've tried making tortillas before and they never work out in circle shape. So I understand the whole map of Australia.
Yeah.
I understand.
And I think I'm quite good with pastry and baking and things, and I still got weird shapes. It's not you, it's the dough.
It is. I don't think I've ever seen anyone make perfectly round ones. So
no.
it's.
But I think that press also makes it like it holds it in shape. Whereas mine, I think the gluten got worked too much, so it was very stretchy and kept bouncing back, and then they were very thick.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now my chicken has just stopped. It wants me to actually give it a little bit of a stir. So I'll just shut that so I don't burn myself on it. Find my spatula and give my chicken a bit of a mix up so that we can make sure it's nicely cooked. Now remember with your Varoma, if you're worried, you're thinking it's not cooking thoroughly, you can always put the speed up. The speed will actually push more steam through, okay? So see, that's saying speed 1. I can go up higher and it will push more steam through. Okay, how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I must admit, I'm not very good with the roti maker with doing the putting it down and pressing it really quickly before it slides out the other end. Oh, that might work. That's cool. I quite often get a blob of dough shooting out across the kitchen. I put a hole in that, but that doesn't matter. It's going to be wrapped. It's going to have chicken wrapped in it. Okay, nearly there. So I think we want 10 for the enchiladas. So.
Good, I'm glad I'm not making them. I've only made 2.
You've got plenty of time. Don't you worry. Oh, there we go. See, my dough just shot out the other end. Press down and quickly. That's it. It squeals a bit. Now, when you cook them, just, as I said, don't cook until you think it's like fully done, because that will actually probably be too crisp. Okay, but I mean, it's not so bad for doing with your fajitas, but when you're doing enchiladas, you want them to be able to wrap around, and they're going in the oven, so it will finish any extra cooking if it needs to. But oh, come back. There we go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can you actually hear the sound that my roti maker's making as it's pushing out the air?
It's squealing.
It's squealing at me. It sort of sounds like something, I don't know what, we should say out of like Harry Potter or something. It's pretty weird. But these, I mean, this dough is so beautiful to work with. Okay, so what have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, midget, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So enough for the enchiladas. Beautiful. The rest I can do later. I'll get this out of the way. And Heather can keep doing hers in the background. But yeah, so I've got a nice blob of dough there.
Can you freeze the dough?
I don't see why not. It's like, yeah, most doughs or pastries, yep, you can freeze and then just bring back to room temperature. And off you go. I might get the teenage boy to do the rest of these for the fajitas for dinner. So I'm just gonna pop that aside like that. And oh, get the, now if you're doing enchiladas, we're going to want to grease our dish. Oh, I should probably preheat the oven, shouldn't I? There we go. So I'm just trying to find some oil to, I'm just going to give that a bit of a oiling, so it will, they'll come out. You actually want your enchiladas to come out at the end once you've done them. And my chicken going into a bowl in a couple of minutes. And what have we got? We need to grate our cheese. This is why we did our cheese ahead of time. We're going to be doing that. Then we're going to fill our enchiladas, pop them in and into the oven. So, oh yeah, we're running short on time. You may not see the final product with the enchiladas, but we'll definitely get the fajitas out because they're quite quick. Come on, chicken. Okay, got any questions at the moment? Everyone's still there and awake? Yes?
Yep, I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Yeah, so we're just steaming the chicken. We're going to pop that aside. We're just going to be doing very quickly our filling for our enchiladas. And I could probably actually fill them and get them in the oven while we get onto get the fajitas cooking. So I know people want to see the fajitas cooking, so we'll do that. I'm just here in the background, just cleaning my jug. There we go. Nice and clean, ready for the next dish. This is where having a second jug is seriously awesome if you want to be chopping and changing. There we go. Lovely. Come here. Chicken. All right, so our chicken is done, and remember that it's going to be cooking inside our enchiladas in the oven as well, so if you're concerned about any pinkness, I can't see any, but if you are, see how they're sort of stuck together? Chicken does that. And for those of you a bit newer, your lid for your Varoma is an awesome drip tray, okay? So we'll pop that there, and we'll just get the rest of this chicken into this bowl, and that gets popped aside, and then it'll be shredded in very soon. Okie dokie. Varoma out of the way. Next step. Okay, clean and dry mixing bowl. I will get the water out. I'm not going to bother about fully cleaning it. It's only had boiling water and chicken, which is going to be going back into it anyway. Preheat oven, which I just did. Greasing. Now, I don't need to grate my cheese because I did that earlier. Okay, and this is why I do that. So that's one less step. Because again, it says clean and dry mixing bowl. All right, we have some coriander and spring onions in a container. And there, so it's there, lid on. Go. 2 seconds. See, my jug's actually still quite hot, so it won't actually let me go above speed 6 if I wanted to. Go. And all right, once that out, we're actually going to sprinkle that on top at the end. Just pop that aside into a little, actually the little bowl that it just came out of. Some of it will stay in. Go. All right, a long red chili, de-seeded if preferred. I haven't de-seeded because they're not hot, these chilies. 2 garlic cloves, 1/4 of a red onion, 1/2 a tomato, 1/2 a capsicum, everything in. Spare lid. Feed 5. Scrape down sides. Because my jug's hot, it's doing a slow start. I probably should have run some cold water through it and find a spatula. I don't know where I put it. All right, so I'm going to repeat that step to scrape down. Yeah, I'm just going to repeat that. As you can see, my red lights are on still. So it's still sitting on 60 degrees still. So the light will go off very soon. But until then, it does slow start. Oh, there we go. Yeah, now we're back to normal. That's better. Now we're fully chopped. Oh, you probably can't. I don't know if I can get the light to see, but anyway, it's all chopped up. Scrape down sides. Couple of pinches of salt. And some pepper. Some olives. Good. I just use black seeded pitted olives. Throw those in, just out of a jar. And here's where our sour cream comes in. So we want 250 of our cream. It's pretty much everything that I've made. There we go. And 40 grams of lime juice. So that'll be 2 halves of a lime. Or a big square. near enough. And some of our cheese that I grated earlier. So it's 50 grams of grated cheese. There we go. Some of the coriander and spring onion from earlier. Obviously, again, if you don't like coriander, leave it out. That 2 seconds, speed 4. Now we're going to pop our chicken in and it's going to shred into it. So the mix is quite pink and sloppy at the moment. We're going to pop our chicken in. I'll just make sure. I'm just going to drain the liquid off it. So here goes all our chicken that we cooked. That goes. And we're going to go speed 4, 6 seconds, reverse. Let's just make sure that chicken's shredded up. Beautiful. Yep. Look at that. Okay, so there's our lovely enchilada filling. And what we're going to do is, might get the, what do you call them? Fajitas on cooking, and then fill these and get them in the oven. Since we've got the second jug, I'm going to pop that aside. We'll get the fajitas happening, and then they're going, because we're going to wrap the chicken up, we're going to put the tin tomatoes over the top, and then we're going to bake them in the oven. Okay, so chop the tomatoes and the cheese, and then off we go. All right, so let's get the fajitas happening, because that's what people really want to see. And the fajitas. Lovely. Start cooking. Yes, we want to start a new one. So here we go. Now, again, I did cheese ahead of time, so I don't need to worry about that step. I can skip straight past. And one thing I did do ahead of time, which is this next step, which is cherry tomatoes and lime juice and a bit of coriander in a thermoserver. And if you haven't seen these awesome new thermoserver lids yet, they seal on properly. They're really good. So that's just cherry tomatoes, lime juice, and coriander, ready to go.
Buy the lids separately?
Yeah, these ones here, yeah, these lids are just in the mix shop, and they fit on thermoservers and also onto jugs.
Oh, I think I've got some of them. I didn't realise they fitted on the thermoservers.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so they're pretty awesome. They have these little flippy sides. So you just flip them up like that. Pop it on your thermoserver, flip down the sides.
Oh, wow, that's excellent.
And you now have a sealed thermoserver.
Yeah, for the thermoserver, but I've never used. Sorry, I thought they fitted the jug. I never thought to use them on the thermoserver.
Yeah, no, they fit both, so they're pretty good. Okay.
Fajitas now, are we?
Sorry?
We're doing the fajitas now.
We're jumping onto the fajitas now. Yes. So, because I can while that's on cooking, I can be assembling my enchiladas, because I think most people are more interested in the fajitas. So let's get some of these things here. I've prepped my red peppers, red onions, my beef, all that sort of thing, all ready to go. Okay, so a fresh red chili, de-seeded. I haven't actually seeded this. I thought some people Might be interested to see easy way to seed a chili. So I've just chopped the end off. I then just, with my hands, I just go scrunch, crunch, scrunch, crunch, scrunch, and all the seeds fall out, okay? So just run it between your hands like that. All your seeds will come out. All is good, okay?
Will it matter if you don't have chili?
No, not at all. I'm just doing that because recipe says it. So cut into pieces. So I just broke it in half. Simple as that. I do have a lid, didn't I? Yes. There we go. Insert lid. And we're just going to quickly chop it. Now, trick here, because we're doing the high heat on the TM6. If you're doing this in TM5, you don't need to worry so much. But we do not scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl. All right, so our chili is all up the sides of it. I can breathe the chili. And just breathe chili fumes in. But we don't want to scrape them down, because if you do, they will just burn on the bottom with the high heat, okay? All right, oil. 30 grams of oil. Nope. There we go. 170 grams red onion. Now this is where I said we're going to be putting red onion, red peppers and yellow peppers in. I wasn't about to go out and find a second yellow pepper because I just couldn't get it. So as long as you end up with the sort of the overall right amount, you're good to go. So I've done probably some extra red onion here, but I'm going to do 170. I'm just going to follow the weights for the moment. 170 of the red onion. Then we've got 180 for the red pepper. Okay. Now, here's where we go. 180 yellow, and I know I don't have enough. See, I've only got that. So, oh, there's a bit more. I'm going to make up the difference with, that is going to be close enough. I could probably grab some more onion or something, but it will be fine with that. Alrighty. Now, lid on, batter guard on, and it asks me if I put it on, and I'll say yes, I have. And we're now going to do 8 minutes on high heat. If you're using a TM5 for it, you could do 8 or 10 minutes on 120 degrees, okay? So we're just going to let that do its thing. I can clean up some of my horrendous mess and start getting my, okay, I've got my tortillas. Get my mouse out of the way, don't need that. And, okay, I have my tortilla, my enchilada dish. I have my filling. And can you hear the sizzling happening there? Sounding pretty good. I'm going to start wrapping my enchiladas and popping them in my dish. There. And I usually pop it seam side down so it sort of holds it in, okay? And then I'll pop a picture of the enchiladas when they're done on the group page so you'll be able to see them. But they look pretty much exactly like the picture. Okay, number 2. Here's a little teeny weeny one. Three. Now this one I probably cooked a little bit long, and you can see it's actually gone quite stiff. And that's what happens if you want to make table water crackers. Just use that dough and just cook them a little bit longer, and you will end up with crisp crackers. They're actually quite tasty. You could break them up and have them with your guacamole. Okay, that's all right. That will work still. 4. My cameraman doing something. So as you see, I'm just filling like this, rolling and popping in a dish. Pretty simple. This is actually a dish that you can do, enchilada one, ahead of time, pop it in the fridge and then just bake it when you're ready to go. Or you can have your filling ready, sitting in a bowl ready to just assemble. It's quite good that way. And I think my dish is a little bit smaller than they recommend, so I'm hoping I can fit them all in. So I've put 8 in so far, and that's pretty much filled it, but I think I can fit a couple down the side maybe. Why not? I've still got a little bit of filling. Yeah, there's enough filling for 10 enchiladas. Pretty much spot on for 10. See if I can get that one, squish that in the side there. And do the last one.
The filling smells beautiful, Louise.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's delicious.
It is. I know, this is where smell-o-vision would be really, really helpful. Okay, I'm going to pop that aside. I'll just show you, wash my hands. Oh, so you can see I've just laid out all my enchiladas in there like that. Now, here's where I get my tin of tomatoes, which I popped a little bit of spice mix in earlier. So I'm just going to have a little taste of it and make sure I haven't. No, that's beautiful. Yeah, it just adds that little, just a little kick. So we just empty our tomatoes over. I mean, look, you can use, you can buy those tins of tomatoes that have got flavors in them, like your herbs, like garlic and basil and stuff. you can use that and works.
I
just
saw some
find,
last week that have Mexican seasoning as well.
yeah, yeah, totally do that. Yeah, I just found, yeah, I've been making this dish for quite a few years, but I just find just the plain tomatoes a bit boring. So, I mean, sure, if you've got, you know, kids or whatever that don't like seasoning at all, but I personally think it just needed a little something. Okay, so then we're going to pop, it says to put the rest of the grated cheese on. I don't know. My container's a little bit, as I said, a little bit smaller than, or my baking dish than what they recommend. But then again, cheese is good. So just spread that out. Oh, might as well. There we go. All right, so we have enchiladas with everything ready to go in the oven. The oven is preheated. I'm sure it tells us how long to do it for. I do it until it looks done. So I'm not sure what the recipe says. Let's see. It says, yeah, 25 to 35. So it'll be ready in time for our dinner, which is good. 2, 1, ding, ding, ding. All right, now we're going to pop our peppers and onions that we've just cooked in our container with our cherry tomatoes. Okay, so let's, oh, can you hear that sizzle? That is beautiful. So, here we go. I'm just going to empty all our beautiful onions and peppers. You can see, there, they're all in there together. Okay. All right, now we're going to pop in the seasoning for the meat, which I have pre-mixed. Okay.
Louise,
Yes.
I have a little black burn mark on the bottom of my
Yep.
pan after that. Is that right?
That's fine. That's what happens sometimes with caramelization. I don't worry about it until I get to the end of a recipe, and then I've done pre-clean and all that. But it's because you've been cooking, you know, high heat, and it, you know, it holds it sitting there on the heat for a little while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exactly the same as if, I was going to say, I've got it as well. And when I scratch it with my spatula, even now it's actually lifting. But it all adds to the flavour. Okay, so yep. All right, so now we're going to pop our seasoning mix for the meat in. So we've got onion powder, ground cumin, ground coriander, smoked paprika, and some salt, and some pepper, and then some olive oil. So I've just got all my spices there, ready to go. And 40 grams of olive oil. And I'm also going to put a little bit of my taco seasoning in. That's entirely optional. Okay, just because I want to have a little extra kick. Not a lot, just a little pinch. There we go. All righty, we're going to pop our lid on, measuring cup on, and it's just going to cook those spices off for a minute. How are we going, everybody? All good?
Yep, going well.
Good, 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 good. Now, those of you who are just watching, any questions?
Lou, you
Louise,
know that. Sorry.
Someone.
I've got a crepe maker. Would I be able to use that?
You probably could actually, because I mean, it heats up a surface, so you could probably, yeah, heat it up. Yeah, just leave it sitting upright. Whereas, with a crepe maker, you normally dunk it in the batter and flip it up. Just leave it sitting up like that, and and if it heats up, then roll out your tortillas, pop it on, flip over, good to go. Yep.
Okay.
I was thinking of even getting like George Foreman grill out and doing them on that. As long as it's a hot surface, you're good to go.
Louise, it's Jackie McLean. Hi, and hi everyone else.
Hi,
I didn't get
Jackie.
that. Hi, I didn't get the handout, so I'm wondering, did you send that to me with the?
I did.
You
I sent you an email. So if you
Perfect.
check your email, you'll have all the recipes and all the hints and tips in it. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Beautiful. Cool. Okay. Now we're going to put in our 350 grams of beef, and as I said, I use actual beef fillet. I get the Aldi whole piece of beef fillet because it is so super cheap, and it is awesome. Melts like butter, and I just cut it. So I've got the piece, and I just cut it in like 1 centimetre slices. Then each one of those slices I just turn into a strip like that. So it's really simple. It's cheaper than buying rump or anything like that. It's just amazingly cheap. I wouldn't buy fillet steak from a butcher or one of the big supermarkets because they can charge like up to $60 a kilo. It's $19 a kilo at Aldi, and it is so good for this sort of thing. Yeah, I use it for all our things like stroganoff and all that. So it's really, really nice. Okay, beef fillet in. Now we're going to stir it. I'm just going to take it off. Stir it with a spatula to coat it in that spice, in the oily spice mix that we put in. Oh, it smells so good.
Lou, you know that I'm really lazy, so if I don't want to measure out all those spices, can I just use my Mexican taco seasoning instead?
Of course you can. Yeah, this is, it's...
I don't want to measure everything twice. If I've already got the bulk Mexican seasoning, I'm just going to use that.
Yeah, no, and it's... Look, I actually, to be quite honest, now that I have actually made the taco seasoning here, I would probably next time just use that with, maybe... I mean, I'll see how hot it is. I haven't even tasted, see how hot this one is that I've made. Maybe a bit of extra smoked paprika or something to pad it out a bit. But yeah, I'm just doing the right thing, show people the recipe. Okay, again, we're going to pop our lid on and our spatter guard, done. And we're going to do the high heat. Again, if you haven't got a 6, if you've got a 5 or a 31, you're going to be using either 120 degrees on your TM5 or Veroma temperature on a 31. Okay, so it's now going to cook that. So we have in our, sorry? This is super hot. I'm just going to stir through the tomatoes, coriander, lime juice, peppers and onions that I have sitting here in my thermostat. They smell beautiful. And we can hear the meat starting to sizzle. So that's pretty cool. Now, so when we do our fajitas for dishing up, this is where grated cheese, if you want grated cheese with it. I like to have the guacamole as well. And I'll show you the corn chips. So this is a recipe on Cookie Do for corn chips. And they are really, really nice. I used my cracker roller cutter to make perfectly uniform triangles. And they are so nice, and they will be so good with the guacamole. So I'm going to pop out some corn chips. This will all be going on our table for us to dig into. And I used all my sour cream that I made, so I'm going to have to actually get, I'm sure I got some real sour cream somewhere. There you go. Pop some of this out as well. This is backup because I used everything in the enchiladas. Sour cream for having with them as well. And I also cheated and bought some of these. They're the little tiny taco wraps, because I knew I would be busy doing other things, wouldn't get a chance to cook all of my tortillas. So I will do them once we're off the camera, but just for dishing up purposes, but I'll show you that. And enchiladas are looking super. Clear some of this away.
Louise.
Yes.
Hi, it's Katrina. Your
Hi,
phone
Katrina.
says, I don't know if anyone else's screen's frozen, but mine is. Maybe it's my device. I'm not sure.
Oh,
No,
hang on.
I'm frozen.
Yeah, no.
I'm frozen as well.
Yeah.
I can see.
Yes, mine's frozen.
Yep, I can see that I'm frozen. Maybe I confused the camera when I was running around. I'm not sure. Here comes the cameraman to see if it's us, or I can change to my laptop camera. That is, I've lost my mouse as well. If I could find my mouse, I could change cameras. That's all right. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now we just have a black screen. So that's all right. Don't you worry.
It's okay.
I am. Yeah, no, that's good, because I was running around so I didn't see. And I want to swap to a. Oh, hang on. They said it should be fine now. No, it's no, we're frozen.
Frozen still.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
Oh, there you go.
there we go. We're back.
There
Good.
we go.
Yeah. I'm a bit worried because I was. What? Oh, we ran out of battery. Oh, there we go. That's what does it. that will do it, won't it? So, yep. Awesome. Now, see, here's where I could grab out the TM5 and make margaritas or something. Yeah. So, Sue, which recipe for margaritas did you use?
Sorry, I ducked off to the laundry.
Oh, sorry.
My tea towels in the wash. I used the citrus margarita.
Okay.
Taste test, and it's very nice. And I think after all this cooking, we deserve it.
Yep. No, I agree with that. I was thinking, Yeah, I could do something like that, or look, even just a bottle of Kahlua would do me at the moment. I mean, Kahlua's Mexican, so happy to do that. There is actually a recipe for making your own Kahlua on one of the, not the Australian site, one of the other sites. And I was thinking about doing it, but you had to get this special alcohol for making it, and I just haven't had a chance to get out and do it.
There's some great.
I have a husband running around ducking behind cameras and things. So we go.
Louise,
Nearly there. Yeah.
Your corn chips, are they the ones from the Hip Hip Hooray? Are the corn chips you made, are they the ones from the Hip Hip Hooray book?
Now, they're from a recipe that actually has a salsa with it.
Okay.
I was going to say, oh, look, we've got a minute. I wonder if I've got time to bring up Cookie Doo. Hang on. You can't see it. I'm behind the scenes here before I connect it on.
Corn chips with salsa roja.
That's the one, yes.
Okay, thank you.
You found it, yeah. Look, very, very easy to make. And, you know, very tasty. I sort of experimented with the cooking times and the thickness of them, you know, to see which ones like better. Because it's like if you don't roll it out, you know, evenly, thinly, the outsides cook quicker than the inside. So you'll end up with, some of them are sort of golden colour, some of them are a bit browner. They still all taste good. But it was good to be able to try it. And if I'm not sure where I put my rolly thing, but it's when they come back in stock, the cracker rollers, I totally recommend. It's so easy. All right, here's our meat, all nice and cooked. And it smells incredible. So that's going to go in here with our other bits. And I'll stir all that together. And I'm actually going to do the pre-clean while I can. Oh, just pop that jug back on. So and oops, come back me. Stir all that together. And my thermos is a bit smaller than the other one I normally use, so it's.
Louise, how much water do you use in the pre-clean?
About a litre.
A litre.
Yeah, look, I don't actually measure it. I just make it sort of to cover the blades.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just having a look to see how much. Yeah, no, I haven't even put a litre in. Yeah, my knob is just sticking out the top. Because I'm sort of more interested in the bottom of it getting clean, and also if I've got a little bit of a catch on the bottom from doing the high heat, I'll pop some white vinegar in. And that helps.
I probably should have put vinegar.
Okay, so do that. I'm going to pop lid on, and that can be pre-cleaning while do the other bits. There we go. Pre-clean, off it goes. All right, so we have our beautiful looking fajitas here. And if I open up a little tortilla bag, is where my kitchen scissors have gone. I never find them when I need them. You can see all this pile up of stuff that I've just been throwing behind me as we go. Looks quite funny. Yeah. So these aren't nearly as nice as homemade ones, but it serves the purpose. for this. Okay, so we've got here, and what if I can do a close-up? Get the cameraman to do a close-up of the food. But the enchiladas are looking really, really good, and they just fogged up my eyes. So I'll probably take a picture of those when they're out. I won't make you all hang around because you've all been so good staying a little bit later. But we have got the fajitas ready to go. Yeah, okay, cameraman's going to do a close-up of some food for us. Here we go. All right, so we have here, and get it in focus. Oh, it's trying to focus on my face. And it can't see me, so it's all confused. It's a very clever camera, and it tracks me around the kitchen. But then when I tell it I want it to look at the food, it doesn't know what to do. So maybe I'm better off taking some photos myself, and I'll pop them up on the page. But yeah, so we've got the fajitas here, we've got sour cream, we've got guacamole, got my homemade corn chips, tortillas that I didn't make, but my other ones are in the oven with the enchiladas. And I'm just going to check the enchilada to see if I can get it out and dish one up so you can have a look, because they're looking pretty good. I reckon I can do that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, let me bring a mat over. Okay, all right. So we have our enchiladas bubbling away here. We can sprinkle a bit of greenery on, just for fun. We've got our fajitas, and we have our taco seasoning that we made as well. So there we go, you survived. Any
big hookup, Lois.
Yeah, well, look, we're going to eat well tonight. We'll have plenty of leftovers. But hopefully you saw some interesting things there, and hopefully something you want to try. Because as you saw, those fajitas are very easy to make. They're beautiful and delicious. Like, taste really, really good. And to say, yeah, because to do those, just get yourself a wrap. Pop some filling in. They're like a soft taco, but instead of it being mince, it's actual nice beef. So there we go. There we go. So I can bring that up to my camera. But any questions before I shut up shop and go and eat?
I'm hungry.
You're hungry now? Well, anyone local, if you want to come around for dinner, I've got plenty, okay?
Be there.
I'd be careful.
I know, I could end up with a whole heap of people.
You've got a limit. You've got a limit.
I know.
You can have.
That is true, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Don't come round. Okay, so.
Always, you put so much effort in. It was great.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, and thank you all for coming and watching. So.
So much, Louise.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
See you next time. Remember Wednesday night we're going to do honeycomb.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Louise. Fantastic.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Louise, just quickly.
Yes.
Oh, she's good.
You me?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, sorry. I thought Wednesday was Verona.
No, the following Wednesday will be Veroma.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, this one will be honeycomb because that was what was asked for a few weeks ago. And then the following one, yeah, we'll do Veroma.
Wonderful. Thanks, Louise. Again, you've put in so much effort and that's great.
My pleasure. Okay. All right. Bye. 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 Bye.